This is Mayor Oliver Gilbert, and we've gone virtual. Now, I wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to learn how to save a life while staying at home. Join me for CPR with Dr. Carrington. Let's learn how to save lives together.
Welcome back to Virtual CPR First Aid Educational Training. We hope you're enjoying the weekly sessions and that you're learning. Let's get to another session. Fainting. Today's Save a Life technique is how to assist when a victim faints or passes out. Vasovagal syncope is the medical term for fainting. Fainting occurs when the body overreacts to certain triggers such as the sight of blood or extreme emotional distress. It may also be called neurocardiogenic syncope, which is another fancy medical term for fainting. Fainting triggers the heart rate and blood pressure to drop suddenly. That leads to reduced blood flow to your brain, which then causes a person to briefly lose consciousness. Fainting is usually harmless and requires no medical treatment, but it is possible that a victim may get injured during a fainting episode. The victim may want to seek medical professional help so doctors can run tests and evaluate them. Symptoms are the things the victim may feel before or during a fainting episode, which includes pale skin, lightheadedness, tunnel vision, nausea, feeling warm, a cold, clammy sweat on the skin, yawning, or even blurred vision. Signs of fainting are the things you as a rescuer can see or assess on a victim during a fainting episode, such as jerking or abnormal movements, a slow, weak pulse, dilated pupils. Let's take a look at this clip provided by American Heart Association on how you should react.
Fainting is a short period when a person stops responding for a short time and then seems fine. A person who faints usually gets dizzy and then stops responding. Fainting most often happens when someone stands without moving for a long time, especially if it's hot, suddenly stands after squatting or bending down, receives bad news.
I feel dizzy. Can I help you? Please. Why don't you just lie down on the floor until the dizziness goes away?
If you're asked to give first aid when the victim is dizzy but still can respond, make sure the scene is safe and help the victim lie flat on the floor. After a victim faints and then starts to respond, you should do the following. Ask the victim to lie on the floor until the dizziness goes away. If the victim remains dizzy, raise the victim's legs about 12 inches and keep them raised until the victim is no longer dizzy. Look for injuries from the victim's fall. Once the victim is no longer dizzy, help the victim sit up very slowly. The victim should sit briefly before slowly getting up.
Thank you for watching. Remember, everyone can learn to save a life. See you next week for more educational training on first aid and CPR.
I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I hope you learned a lot. Join us every Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. on Facebook Live for CPR with Dr. Carrington. If you want to view this session again, just to brush up on your skills, visit cmgengage.com/virtual. We'll see you next week.